have quite the change coming in the forecast. You look behind me here, and it's summertime across North Texas today. 90 degrees, 91, 92, 93. We could be, some of us, even in the mid 90s for our highs today, this afternoon. I feel like I need a drum roll here to show you the lows for tonight. So let's drum roll that in. Boom. Overnight lows are in the mid 50s behind the cold front that's headed in tonight. It will be quite a change across our area. Unfortunately, it'll be hot and the allergens will be in the medium to high range as they have been. Really no change there. And then before we get to that news, I want to show you in the tropics, this system has been updated here to a 60% chance in the next 7 days. So over the next several days, it will approach the Leeward Islands over to Puerto Rico there and looks to track, if it holds on to this track anyway, toward kind of the northern side of the Caribbean islands. For now, there's nothing really alertive about this. We're watching it, we're keeping an eye on it, but if anything, it looks like it may stay on the northern side of the islands, which probably wouldn't be as conducive for development. Now, if it continues on into the Gulf of Mexico, then we might have something to talk about there, but that's not expected to happen anytime soon, not in the next week or so. So there's really nothing more to do at this point than to keep an eye on it. And then this little system over here, 30% chance in the next 7 days, but it looks like this is going to cross Central America. So this really doesn't look like it's going to be much of a problem. Again, assuming it holds that track. So here's the map here. Let's talk about what's happening today. We had this warm front. Of course, we had a cold front going yesterday, lifting back north as a warm front here. So that's bringing in our very warm temperatures. And then here is that cold front that's coming in, and you see these markers. It's going to be very windy as that front moves through. We're expecting that right around perhaps 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. It could be a little earlier. We'll be watching that timeline throughout the day, but probably 8 or 9 o'clock. I will be at a baseball game, my son's baseball game, and so it could be an event where we get there in t-shirts and leave in jackets. It will be windy and chilly behind that front, and like I showed you in the morning, lows are in the 50s, and we could even get into the 40s, some of us going forward. Now, the downside of today, in addition to the heat, is that it will be breezy and dry out there from the south, and this, combined with the fact that we have not had any rain for a while, and unfortunately we don't see any coming, we do have an elevated fire risk here, primarily from Cleburne to Venus to Midlothian, north and west, but I would say really for all of our area. And when we look at the burn bans that are active right now, only Navarro County out of our core counties. You also see McLennan, Limestone, Freestone, Henderson, several counties around us, right up here, Parker County, closer to the Metroplex. But for our area, only Navarro County is in a burn ban. And more of our area, though, is included in that fire risk today. So just keep that in mind. And over the next several days, it will be dry. Those conditions will continue. It'll be cooler, but it will be breezy. It'll be dry. So breezy and dry, it can be nice and cool outside, but we can still possibly see an easier time for those, an easier environment, I would say, for those fires to spread if they get started. So just be very careful out there. There's still some green, but we are starting to see that vegetation dry out. And as that happens, all of that is fuel for a potential grass fire. So be very, very careful if you do any kind of outdoor burning as this cooler weather comes in. 91 today, southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour, could be gusts up to 20. Tonight, that front moves in. It will be a windy front. You will know it's here. Tomorrow will be windy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts to 20 to 25. So tomorrow will continue to be a cooler, windy day, 73 degrees there. Overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning, I've got 50 here. Some of you drop into the 40s. And then we start warming up. Friday, Saturday, we're back in the 80s. I got to make sure I don't step on a cat here that just appeared. 81, 82 degrees. So as we get into the early part of next week, we are warming up a little bit, and we will have more humidity here, but it's not going to be oppressive. Unfortunately, right now, it does look like we stay dry. We were originally watching that system in the desert southwest to see if that was going to send us any rain. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Beyond that, looks like the better chance for rain would be the latter part of next week. And again, we'll have to watch and see if that even is going to bring us any rain or not. Models make it look pretty impressive, but again, we're far enough away. Those can and probably will change as we get closer, and I'll be watching the weather because that's getting closer to the Crossroads of Texas Country Festival here in Waxahachie. I will be a media partner for that, so we will be out there having a lot of fun. And I will also say too, it's going to be appropriately. There will be a chill in the air that will be appropriate for Scream's Halloween Park as well. But all of these things, conditions are great, but we do have to be careful about that fire risk. It's very dry out there. We had enough rain to grow that vegetation. It's going to start drying out. The winds come up. We will have to be worried about that, unfortunately. But at very least, we are getting into more normal fall conditions. 80, 81, 82, that's normal. So we will be below normal for a short time, but we will be back on the upper side of normal, but still not in the 90s for at least the foreseeable future. Stay tuned to South Metro Weather. We're going to keep you updated as that front gets closer today. Get ready tonight. That cold front comes in windy and cool. Tomorrow will be windy and cool as well. Very cool mornings if we can just get past the low 90s later today.